so now that we're all done with the e.l.f. essential products that can work as cream eyeliners or as cream bases, we move into the studio range. And what I will be covering in this section are the jumbo eyeshadow sticks, the cream eyeliners and the cream eyeshadows, the smudge pots and the long-lasting lustrous eyeshadows, then the shimmer palette and 2 eyeliners, the waterproof eyeliner crayon, and the Kohl eyeliner. In terms of dedicated cream eyeshadows, e.l.f. came out with quite a few shades of these jumbo eyeshadow pencils, and these are nice in terms of the shade selection and also because they are the kind that twist up that you do not have to sharpen, so that is a major plus. I only own 2 of these. I believe the green one is called Bali Bound and the blue one is called Like a Boss. The shades are really pretty and they do blend out quite easily. And that is where the problem starts. These are super creamy. You can really smudge them out easily, but they really do crease on me. And they crease even with primer and even topped with shadow. I would never dream of applying these on their own because they do really crease horribly. Oh, I was mistaken not to point out that these jumbo eyeshadow pencils are actually part of their newer releases in the Essential line, and they retail for $2 a piece. All of the studio products retail for $3 a piece, and all of the other Essential products that I've shown retail for just $1 a piece. I think with these jumbo pencils, it's up to you whether you think that it's worth the trouble of making them work. And making them work for me means using something like the e.l.f. Lock and Seal. So if I apply this liquid on top of them, they will no longer crease. But I honestly find that that's going to too much trouble for me in order to make these work for me. So I honestly rarely ever use these, and I would probably not recommend them to anybody because these 2 for me have been disappointments. If your experiences with these jumbo pencils have been different, or if you have identified a way to make them work for you, I would be thrilled to hear about that in the comment box below. Somehow I get the impression that I'm missing the boat on these products and I don't know how to make them work for me. The Shimmer Palette, much loved by me, as you can see I've hit pan on every shade, is a product that is somewhere in between the color sticks and the facial whips in terms of consistency. It comes with 4 different shades that e.l.f. says you can use both on your eyes, your cheeks, and even your lips. I honestly mostly use these as cheek highlighters, sometimes as highlighters under the brow. I don't use them a lot as eyeshadow bases, but with a primer and applied in a thin layer and topped with powder eyeshadows, these do a decent job as cream bases. And you can blend them out really easily too, which is nice. They are very creamy. In terms of dedicated cream eyeshadows, e.l.f. has had these cream eyeshadows for a long time, and I think that it is now trying to slowly phase them out. I have just 1 shade, it is called Dawn, and it is an absolutely gorgeous taupey shade. I find that the best way to apply these is with a flat synthetic brush like this. And unlike the jumbo sticks that I have shown previously, you can actually wear these even without a primer and without topping them with shadow, and they will not crease and they will stay intense and look gorgeous. Again, I've only tried this 1 shade Dawn, but I absolutely positively love this. And you see that you can build it up to a more intense taupey shade, or you can wear it more sheared out for a more neutral look. I really like this one. For me, this cream eyeshadow has kind of gone under the radar for a long time, and I've only rediscovered it recently, and I absolutely love this. So 2 thumbs up for me on this one. More recent additions to e.l.f. cream eyeshadow line are these Smudge Pots, and I do have a full review which I will link somewhere in here and also in the info box below this video, where you can see swatches and an in-depth review of these. I absolutely adore these products. They're excellent as both standalone cream eyeshadows and as bases and even as eyeliners. a product that's not really cream, but it's definitely not a powder. This is a whipped gel consistency. It's the e.l.f. Long Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadow, and I also have a full review which I will be linking right here for you if you're interested in watching that, and also in the info box below. Excellent product. I absolutely love these. 2 thumbs up on these as well. And they are really excellent as both bases and standalone eyeshadows. Now going over to a series of products that can be misappropriated as cream bases. I will start with the e.l.f. cream eyeliners. I have tried almost the whole range of these eyeliners, and I have to say that when you first get them, all of them are really excellent colored bases. They will not budge on your eyes. You can apply shadow on top and they're really excellent. They give your eye look an intensity that you cannot always get with the powder shadows alone. The issue with them is, at least in their older formulation, that they dry out really fast. I will try to offer you some swatches, and please ignore the cross-contamination from using the same brush. This is one of my latest additions to my collection. This is the teal one, and this is super nice and creamy. And I have noticed this with both of the ones that I got in April of 2014, that the formula when you first get them seems to be creamier than I remember it being with the other ones. So as I said, try to excuse the cross-contamination. This is an older one, as you can see. It is pretty badly dried out, but you can actually still get some color from it. Now I haven't used this in a while, and I don't know that I would still use it on my eyes, but as you can see, it still has some color in it. And I think that I've had this one for at least 1.5 years. So for such a long time, it's not that bad. But I have some really bad cases. This is one that I've had for probably 2 years that I'm going to throw out immediately after this review. As you can see, it is completely dried out. And maybe in part this has to do with the fact that this is a plastic container and not a glass container. So that was in black, and this one is in the darker purple shade, more of an aubergine purple shade. Really pretty shade, and the black one was especially nice when it was still fresh, very creamy, opaque in one passing, but they do dry out after several months. Maybe this newer formula will hold good for longer, but with that caveat, these are excellent bases. And for $3, it may be worth trying them out. I particularly like this turquoise one. I do apologize for the changed lighting. My battery actually died on me, and I have 2 more products to review. And before I could get it charged up enough to shoot some more, the sun has set, so I have to rely on artificial lighting. Now, although this does throw off my white balance, I hope that it will not be so much of a trouble, because I only have these 2 products to talk about from the Studio line, and they are both black. And in fact, they are both primarily eyeliners. Although this one, the waterproof eyeliner crayon, is also listed under the eyeshadow tab on the e.l.f. website. So talking about this eyeliner crayon first, my very first experience with this line has been horrific. I first ordered it when it came out, and I believe it was the late fall of 2012. And I ordered one shade back then, and it was the lightest one, Champagne, which was the worst product I have ever tried from e.l.f. It was super dry, and I tried to make it work so hard. Like, I tried sharpening it, although these pencils are twist ups, so they do not require sharpening. They will just push up like this on their own. But I thought, let me try removing the outer layer of the product. Maybe that is hardened, and maybe that is the reason why I'm getting no color payoff from the Champagne shade. I tried warming it up before I used, nothing would work. I mean, on my hand when I swatched it, I would get some color to show up, but I had to tug so hard, I had to apply so much pressure, and I had to go over the swatch so many times that it was just not feasible to use on my eyes. Not to mention that I had gotten that Champagne shade with the original intention of using it in my waterline. Plus, that Champagne shade had pretty chunky glitter in it, so it wasn't the best shade. I have disposed of it since. And then you may ask yourself, what beyond pure masochism has led me to purchase another one, meaning the black one? Now, I had watched reviews that the black one was actually a lot creamier than the champagne one, and I wanted to try it out for myself. And although it has dried out somewhat in the meantime on me, you can build it up in a couple of passes to be pretty dark. And the main advantage of this is that it is really waterproof, like it does not budge. That also means that it's not very easy to blend out. So you see, if I go over it, it doesn't really smudge out a lot. Well, a little bit, but not a lot. But this actually holds very well on my waterline because I have super, super watery eyes. And if I choose to line my waterline, typically within half an hour, I have all that black pencil somewhere flowing down my face, and that raccoon look is definitely not the most attractive look you can go for. So I do like this one for the waterline, not so much as a creamy base though. And finally, the e.l.f. Kohl eyeliner, which, like the essential pencils, also comes with the sharpener in the cap, which is really useful. And then at the other end, this one has a smudger. So swatching this one next to the other one, you can see that this is a lot more opaque in one passing, and this is really super creamy. So if I go to the smudger provided at the other end, you can see that this is very easy to smudge out. So this is very nice for a smoky eye. If I move to the waterproof crayon, you see that it is not nearly as easy to smudge this one out. So I would say that of the two, the Kohl eyeliner is actually the better base. But then again, the creaminess that this one has, which makes it super easy to apply, also means that it will not hold for me on the waterline. And if I use it just on top of my lash line to line my eyes like I normally would, this also may transfer to my brow bone. Whereas this other one, the waterproof one, which is drier, will not do that for me. But I would still say that this Kohl eyeliner is an adequate base for a dark and smoky look because there is just one shade available for this one, and that is black. I hope that this overview and comparison of the e.l.f. cream eyeshadows and cream bases has been helpful. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!